Just tell me your name and your title.
Deirdre Howard, Chief Nursing Officer.
Say that again.
Why are you grinning like
Because
that?
you had attitude. You can't have attitude with me.
Well, I didn't have an attitude. I just saw this. I'm 25 people right now.
I know.
I'm under a lot of stress right now.
See, that's a beautiful shot. So
It's not.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Your name and your title.
My name is Deirdre Howard. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer.
So how long have you been at the CNO here?
I've been sitting as a CNO for about 17 months now.
So talk about your first year back, 'cause you left and came back. What was that like for you? Because you had been leadership, Mr. Miller. Can you just kind of talk about what that meant?
Oh my gosh, it was eventful, very, very eventful. I've been off and running since I got here, literally, working on new initiatives, trying to change things yesterday, things not happening quick enough, being a little impatient but trying to be patient at the same time. However, implementing new things for the clinical staff.
So you were the first African American CNO.
Yay!
And for a lot of us, it was a sense of euphoria, like a lot of excitement because we had never had that before.
Yes.
But for other people, they really didn't understand the impact that you could bring to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
What was that? What did that mean to you, coming as a first CNO?
Well, first and foremost, I'm very honored and very grateful to be given this opportunity. It meant a lot to me because being the first is the first. There's no blueprint as to what the expectations are because you look different, your style is different, everything's different about you. However, even though healthcare has evolved and changed, this position here has not. Nursing is nursing anywhere you go. However, being the first African American woman to set foot in this place, it was very, very exciting for me. I can't even describe it in a few words because it's been a job every day, but yet it's been fulfilling because I love what I do. Nursing oozes out of me. I mean, I love nursing, period. But working under Mr. Miller, he's a very passionate individual. I often say that I'm the yin to his yang because I'm the calmer one. However, we get things done. Our focus has been different. I have a bigger platform to say and do what I want to do for nursing. Take it way back and make it personal. Back to basics, so to speak. But yeah, this has been a very exciting journey thus far.
You talk about back to basics and nursing being standard wherever you go.
Yes.
Talk about that. What does that look like?
It's somewhat administration's fault for placing so much responsibility and tasks to do on nurses because we made them so task oriented. All they can focus on is I gotta do, and not really connecting with the patient. Not really taking the time to sit down and hold grandma's hand, or whether it be to help her transition on to heaven or transition to rehab or go home. We've taken that away from them, and I want to bring that back and personalize nursing and let them know that it's okay to sit down and talk to grandma about her 10 cats or her 10 grandkids, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be made that number. We want to personalize it so when they come to the Loretto Hospital that we know them by name and they know us by name and face. That's what I'm trying to implement here, to let them know that this is not only a business, this is a family-oriented entity, because all we are at the end of the day is caregivers. We want to be your sister, cousin, friend, auntie, mother. And we want to make that your patient experience the best possible so that you would choose to come to Lee Loretto as opposed to a bigger institution where you may be a name and number and people not really know who you are.
That's awesome. What was your greatest challenge when you first came back?
My greatest challenge was, like I said, being a little bit impatient and having to, or wanting the desire to correct things on the spot instantaneously. Success doesn't happen overnight. All these issues or concerns that we're facing, they didn't happen overnight. They were built over time. So it's going to take me a little bit more time to correct some of the things um, that I have to work on. However, it's getting done piece by piece, bit by bit. You know, like they say, you can only eat an elephant one bite at a time. That's literally what we're doing right now, eating that elephant one bite at a time. Um, I'm somewhat as a perfectionist. I like things to be done a certain way. Um, Trying to shift and work on the culture at the same time while you're trying to teach and implement new, innovative, evidence based things. It's taken a little bit more time than I'd like. However, you have to meet people where they are.
Anash talked about you, Nikki, and Mr. Miller when with regard to operations, how you guys tore it apart and rebuilt it.
Yes.
But there was one point where he mentioned being in the emergency room, starting with the ER and going through the process as a patient.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit more detail about that, because he didn't really get into it, he just kind of touched on it.
Oh, well, the ED is the interest to the organization. You want the experience to start off on a good foot. You want to be recognized for what you're here for. You want to be made to feel like we're trying to meet your needs where you are in the emergency room through that whole process, as far as seeing the physician, being triaged, seeing the nurse, and then getting you upstairs or discharged outward to a different facility or even just home. Um, so we started there. Our main focus in the beginning was the ED, because by the time the patient makes it upstairs, if you have a bad experience in the ED, it kind of messes up that whole patient experience piece. So we put a lot of focus on the ED because that's the interest to the organization. If you can start off on a good foot, maybe by the time you get upstairs, you may have one or two things off key. However, you still have that success story to tell about how your experience started off, and then hopefully we could rectify whatever those issues were on the spot and continue for you to have a good patient experience.
So what are you all doing as far as instituting and improving nursing and patient care?
Oh, quality, all quality. Like I said, we're taking it back to basics. We're starting from scratch. I've hired new educators to come in to help get all the initiatives that I'm trying to implement off the ground. We're cross-training our nursing staff as far as them having the ability to float to different areas if they want to move up to critical care from med surg. We're allowing them that opportunity to do so. We're not stifling anyone by any means. We're letting people branch out and explore different areas, because you never know. Nursing can lead you anywhere. You may start off as on med surg or in behavioral health, but you may want to eventually go to critical care. We're allowing people to do that. Then also that builds on your skill set, and that opens up those doors for you to do a whole lot of other things. We've started a lot of committees. Oh my gosh, I have committees for the committees to help educate people and hone in on different initiatives such as falls or CODIs or hospital-acquired injuries. I mean, we're focusing on those things because in the long run, it all ties into what that quality piece is. If you can dissect those topics and allow people to give people the tools to focus on that educational piece and what they have to offer, then they can go any and everywhere. And that also builds on our quality layers. It's like a tier level. So that's what we've done thus far.
So how you kind of touched on this, but maybe you have a different response. How important is quality of care and quality and safety to patients, with the nurses' role in that?
That's first and foremost. It starts with our frontline staff. What they see that's important to us trickles down to what's important to them. If they feel or they bring concerns or improvements or initiatives to our attention, we listen and we focus on, well, what should we do? Or we get their input as, okay, which way you think we should do this? I don't create anything for them to do without their input to say. I don't tell them what they need to do. I get their buy-in, and then we work it out together, because it seems to be better receptive if I allow them to provide their input and see, well, what do you think we need to get this patient from the ED up to the floor to wherever they need to go safely.
Will you hire your nurses? What are you looking for? What is the ideal
Not just
candidate look like to
not just a knowledge base, because I tell people all the time, I can teach you policy and procedure and things of that nature. I have that survey type brain, or I can ask you those kinds of questions. I look for someone who has the ability to personalize their care for the patient. It's all about compassion. I can't teach you that. You have to come here with that. You have to want to know what your purpose is and why you're here, and want to be here to do it. The worst thing I can hear someone say is, I just come here to do my 12 hours and go home, or this is just a job for me, because unfortunately for some, it is that. I look beyond that. You have to be able to say, this is what I'm called to do, or I want to make a difference in someone's life. Those are the kind of, that extraness that I look for, because any person can come in here and be super technical about treating a patient, getting their medications, discharging them, or what have you. But you have to have that personal piece, so you can draw that patient in and let them know that you're there for them. What can I do to make your life better? What can I do to make this patient experience much better for you? Those are the kinds of questions that I ask when I interview people, not just a technical piece, because it's more than that. These people's lives are in your hands, and they're relying on you to get them to wherever they need to be. And it has to be a smooth, personalized transition. That's why I tell people, you have to personalize nursing. We've gotten way beyond that. We've removed ourselves from that. And like I said in the beginning, it's kind of our fault, because we say, let the nurses do it, let the nurses do it. Task. And we forget that we're all human in all of this. So that's what I want to do, and I look for in people to let them personalize that whole plan of care for that patient, whatever that may look like. Involve the families, because they're key too. They help us to get the patient to where they need to be. They help in that whole healing process. So I look for all that. I look for that complete package, so to speak.
That's awesome. Where do you see us in the future?
Ooh, I'm so excited about the future, because it's been a journey and a challenge thus far, to get us to where we are today. I can't honestly say that in the last 16, 17 months, we have moved the dial. So many things have changed within the organization. We're like a well-oiled machine right now. We're just now waiting for the opportunities to be placed before us, so we can, tackle hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. Eventually, I want to shift the paradigm from disease management and things of that nature. I want to shift it to preventive medication. I don't want to see everybody here in the hospital as a patient. I want us to be able to give them the tools and the services that they need, so that they don't have to come and spend 3 or 4 or 5 days with me. I love it when they do. However, that's not what I want for the future. Someone very close to me is very passionate about all the inequalities and the disparities of what we're facing right now. And unfortunately, those things have not changed. I've often heard him say, we should be so mad, we should be marching in the streets. Mm-hmm. That is true. That's why I want to get everyone that I can involved, broaden my platform, so that they can see that this is not fair. Healthcare is changing and transforming, but yet we are not. Nothing has changed for people that look like us, or people in this community. That has not changed. We should be afforded and allotted things that the larger institutions have, but unfortunately we don't. So the playing field is not even. It's not by any means even for us, but yet we have to make do with what we have. So the journey has been a little bit harder for us, but we're kicking and scratching, and we're here. And I want us to be that viable entity still 5 years from now for the Austin community, because we've been here a million years, it seems like. And we're that pillar in this community where people can only come to us for services that they need. They can't afford to go to the Rushes and the Northwesterns and the, because either, for any reason, I don't know, but we're here for a reason. I truly believe that. My assignment is here for now, and I'm here to make a difference, and I want to keep us here for years and years and years to come.
That's awesome. Last question. If you had the opportunity to share one good thing with the patient about this hospital, what would you say?
One good thing. That brings me back to that personal piece. I want someone to know me by my name. I want someone to know me know that I'm married and I have 3 kids and I have my whole history. I want to feel like I'm part of the family. And I can't say that to people because when we get visitors and outside folks in here, they always say, you guys are so nice and so personable, so approachable. I want people to be able to feel that way, to say, oh my gosh, even though I may live across the street from a larger institution, they may not know me by my name, but when I go over to the Loretto Hospital, Mrs. Howard, she knows me. That keeps me coming back. People look for things like that. So that's what I want to be able to say. We make you feel like family. We want the best for our family.
That's all I have. You want to ask anything?
No, that's
That was
good. Yep.
Personally covered.